Tuesday, February 19th.
After 700 meters, turn left. Interstate 84 eastbound towards Boise.
Yeah,
Take the freeway.
I'm finally leaving Ontario, Oregon. I got the Idaho permit this morning. And funny enough, it was the last permit I got. Yesterday I ordered all the rest of the permits, you know, for like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, and I already got those. And when I checked in the morning, my email, there was no Idaho, so I had to call ComData and ask them, like, what the heck is going on? So now I got it, just a one-page thing, and it kept me sitting at this truck stop at I-84 in Ontario for 2 days. But the good news is that I got my
Interstate 84 eastbound.
I got my 34-hour reset.
Take the freeway.
So now my logbook is back to 0. So this is the ramp to I-84. And I'm gonna stop. The first goal is, of course, to cross the border into Idaho, and then I have to find some fuel. I didn't fuel at Pilot here because we get the best prices at TA and petrol. And about 60 miles from here, there's a TA in Boise, Idaho. So that's where I'm heading. To get some fuel.
Follow Interstate 84 eastbound towards Boise for 89 kilometers.
It snowed a bit in the morning. Now it seemed to disappear, but the clouds are still there. We'll see what happens later on.
After 1 kilometer, take the exit right, 54 Avenue Broadway.
I'm in Boise, Idaho. As you just heard my GPS, this is exit 54 of I-84. And there's a TA truck stop here. I need to get some fuel and check my load. The price of diesel today is what, $4.29? Still pretty high, so I'm gonna get like just one tank, and hopefully I'll find something cheaper, you know, closer to Texas. I just put in my final destination for today. It's gonna be another TA truck stop in Wyoming. I think the town is called Fort Bridger. From here, and it's 645 kilometers, so basically a 7-hour drive. But it's already 20 to 2 Eastern, which is I think 20 to 12 local time. So I don't like driving after dark, you know, especially with this oversized road.
South Broadway Avenue.
Alright, this is 84 East, so I'm heading towards Utah and Salt Lake City. Checked all my straps and chains, everything looks good. Got some tea, and that's one thing I forgot to do in Ontario. When I stopped at the Walmart there, I forgot to buy tea because I'm out of green tea. And, you know, there's only so much coffee you can drink. I already had 2 16-ounce cups today, so that's it. So now I just have to pay, you know, and for tea, when you buy tea at a truck stop, they charge you the same price as coffee, which doesn't make sense because tea, you know, it's much easier to make, right? So usually I just buy my own tea, like in tea bags, and then I just get hot water, and that's it. And then you save a lot of money, and, you know, green tea is good for you, right? Okay. 1 thing I do usually before I leave the place where I stopped is I look up my next stop location. Usually 2 hours from 2 hours 120 miles from my current position, and I just use my truck stop directory, and I saw that there's gonna be a Shell truck stop at exit 182.
Follow Interstate 84 eastbound, US 20 eastbound, US 26 eastbound, US 30 eastbound, towards Alton for 268 kilometers.
Yeah, so on the same I-84, right now it was exit 54, and I need exit 182. So that's kind of what I like doing, you know, like just over 120 miles, or over 2 hours. It's always a good idea to stop, you know, stretch your legs, check your load, stuff like that. Alright, same story here, speed limit 10 miles per hour. That means gear 4. Proceed 5 miles per hour. Oh, that's for the other guy. Let's see what they say. See that overhead sign blinks slow? That's what I'm doing. And they can always pull you off because there's a red sign there, police park, stuff like that, you know. Sometimes they just want to look at your permit, or maybe do a full-blown large-scale inspection on your truck, you know, where they check everything from lights to brakes, hoses. One thing I noticed is they don't like when your brake hoses rub on any part of the truck's frame. They can give you a ticket for that. On the right you see a sign that says Mountain Home, 23 miles. And if you guys watched my video, the previous trip from Elko, Nevada to Kamloops, BC, you should recognize that name. That's when I had when I hit some really bad roads on the Nevada side. It was Highway 255 in Nevada, then it became Highway 51 in Idaho, and that Highway 51 connected with this I-84 in the aforementioned town of Mountain Hope. This trip I'm not taking any shortcuts, I'm just following the interstate all the way east and then south to Texas. Forget it. So I'm gonna pass Salt Lake City, Utah, then go through Wyoming on I-80, then go south into Kansas, I think. Yeah, Kansas, then Oklahoma, and then Texas. So it's 100% interstate driving. So no shortcuts this time. And there it is. Business 84 and 51 south. Probably the worst highway in Idaho and Nevada. Yeah, the wind is pretty strong here, and I see there's lots of those wind generators on the left. a shell. And I'm not a big fan of shell stations. And I see mountains in the distance. But soon, this mountain part of my trip should be over. Probably somewhere in Colorado I will see them last. I think I'm ready for another cup of coffee. I like coffee
at the end of the road.
At Pilot's truck stops. You have a wide choice of flavors, and what I do, I just mix them. I mix coffee from 6 or 7 urns, and that creates great taste. What's the room here? Of course, the picture will change dramatically closer to 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
After 80 meters, turn left, Crossroads Parkway.
Oh boy. Well, one thing I notice is that if you're not careful, time really flies, when you stop at a truck stop. So I just did a quick check of my load, tightened a few chains, and went to the truck stop, got a few snacks, some coffee, and I'm back in the truck. I look at the clock, and it's already 2:18. Yeah, I already found my next stop. It's going to be another Flying J at exit 7, already in Utah. And I checked my permit, and because I'm under 10 feet wide, the permit allows me to travel after dark in Utah. And then I have to stop somewhere on the edge there, on the border of Utah and Wyoming, and get my Wyoming permit. Sits on the left here. There's a speed zone here, and people fly from the other direction.
Turn left, Interstate 84 eastbound towards Pocatello. Then take the freeway.
8-9, flashes off, cruise on. Relax for the next 2 hours. it's already getting dark. I'm on I-15, I-84 near Perry, Utah. This is a port of entry. So this is the first time they stopped me, and I was going through the scale and the sign lit up. Kind of, you can see it on that side in the mirror. Yeah, it's a sign like this. And the speed limit was like 15 miles per hour, and I was going, watching my speed, and then the sign lit up. Park, bring in your paperwork. And so they checked my, that's the sign over there. They checked my paperwork, because basically, the rule here in Utah is that as long as you're under 10 feet wide, you can travel, anytime, 24/7, even at night. But if you are just 10 feet 1 inch, that's it. You have to shut down 30 minutes maximum after, sunset, and it's already getting dark, right? So I just heard on the radio some guys were talking, we have curfew. So that's the problem with these oversized loads, that you always have to watch your hours. That's why they drive so fast. So thankfully I don't have to do that. I can drive slow. And you see, that's my GPS. I'm basically probably like 20 miles away from the bypass over the Salt Lake City. It's kind of 84 goes around, and then I jump on 80 and head towards Wyoming. Well, it's already pretty dark. So I'm in at the rest area, just basically 30 miles away from the border with Wyoming. And Wyoming is what they call a port of entry state. So I wasn't able to get my oversized permit from Camp Data, where I got all other permits. So, and there's a phone number in this book here that you have to call like 1 hour or 30 minutes before you arrive, and they give you a reference number, and then you can show up there with that reference number, and then you get the actual permit. And I think they will need my credit card. But if I show up without the reference number, like without calling first, you can get a ticket, because oversized load, you have to so I added a couple of more lights, because they're under 10 feet wide in Wyoming. You can travel on the interstate only, as long as you have a whole bunch of lights. So now I have strobe lights, I have on the beacon lights on the roof, I have lights, strobe lights on the bumper of my trailer, and I added some lights, you see there, on the front of the actual piece that sits on my trailer. And there's another one over there, and I put some in the back too. So I don't know, if they're not happy with this amount of lights, I don't know what else I can do. Just lost about 45 minutes here at the port of entry in Evanston, Wyoming. But got the permit, no problems, except that the lost time. It cost 23 bucks for the entire Wyoming to go across on I-80, and then I go south on Cheyenne on I-25. The only problem is, what I'm pissed about is that they sent me to get my my book with all the documents on the truck, and on the way out I decided to buy sneakers in the machine there, and I didn't know what the price is. Like usually it's $1.50, right? I put in $1 because I was pretty sure I had another one, and I punch in the selection, it says $2 for like a big sneakers, and I don't have a second dollar bill. So I push return, it says no change unless you buy something. So I'm standing there, and it says credit $1. So anyone basically who's coming in or leaving can just add some money and use my $1. So I went back in the line, lined up, and when I bought the permit, they gave me the change, like $5. I said, give me $1 notes. I ran to the bank, ran to the machine to get my sneakers, and my dollar was gone. Someone saw that $1 credit and just basically used it. Damn. I think it's like second or third time this happened to me. When you put money in the machine and doesn't want to give it back, and there's nothing you can do. Anyway, so I'm almost done here for the day. I just need to do last 49 kilometers to Fort Bridges, Wyoming, and TA truck stop. Now I switch on all my lights and start trucking east on I-80 in Wyoming.